I'ma take my shot, but get ready. Don't wanna stop, but get ready. I'ma do my thing and you get ready.
What up everyone, and welcome back to another video. And if you're new here, my name is Nicole, and today I'm gonna change your life and teach you how to make the best, smoothest, creamiest, fluffiest hummus of all time. My love for Middle Eastern food runs so deep. I love hummus, I love falafel, I love tabbouleh, I love all of it. So I wanted to figure out how to create the best hummus ever, because I would make it and it just wouldn't be as good as I would get it at an authentic restaurant out on the town. So I wanted to be able to recreate it at home, and I figured it out. So today it's time for me to spill the tea, to give you the deets on how to get the smoothest hummus of your life. Not only am I showing you how to make a delicious smooth hummus, but I'm also showing you how to make homemade garlic naan. Now I know traditionally naan is more of an Indian type of food. It goes with Indian cuisine, but I love naan better than pita bread. Pita bread tends to be kind of dry, and naan has always held a special place in my heart. I just think it's freaking delicious, and you can just, it comes out better in my opinion. So I'm gonna be giving you my recipe that I have perfected. It's so freaking good. And one more thing before we get into the recipes, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, guys, because more people will see this video in the YouTube algorithm. It really helps me out a lot. And of course, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I post a new video. Okay, let's get into it. To start your hummus, you're gonna open up 2 cans of garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and you are going to drain them, but you want to reserve the chickpea liquid that's in the cans. That's very important, and the liquid's gonna play a big part in making this hummus the creamiest, fluffiest hummus of your life. So make sure you save it, it's liquid gold. Okay, so once you drain your chickpeas, you can run them under cold water for a minute or 2 to rinse them off. Then you can lay them out on a kitchen towel and let them dry. And here's the most tedious part of this recipe, but trust me, it is worth it. It'll take you about 20 to 30 minutes. You can actually just give this task to your little kids if you want to punish someone. You're gonna peel all the chickpeas. Now I know that sounds like a lot of work, but it's mindless work. You can watch a show, you can listen to a podcast while you're doing it. Trust me, you want to do this part, you don't want to skip it. So once all the chickpeas are skinned, you can add them to your high-speed blender along with the rest of your ingredients. So you're also gonna need half a cup of tahini, a 1/4 cup plus 1 to 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, depending on your preference, the zest of 1 lemon or about 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, 4 cloves of garlic, and 1 teaspoon of salt. As you're blending the hummus, you can slowly start adding in the chickpea liquid, and you'll notice that as you're adding it, the hummus will get really fluffy and creamy, and that's what you're going for. And you will probably have to stop the blender and scrape down the sides 2 or 3 times to make sure that you're blending everything really well, because you want everything to be as smooth as possible. And you can add as much chickpea liquid as you want. It just depends on your preference and how thick you want your hummus to be, but you basically want it to look like this. It should look like buttercream icing. Now, when you serve the hummus, I like adding a little drizzle of olive oil and some of the whole chickpeas from the can, just to give it a nice, beautiful aesthetic look, and also some fresh dill. By the way, this hummus recipe is in my ebook, Prep Like a Chef. So if you make it and you love it, make sure you check out the rest of the recipes in that book, because they are so good. And of course, perfect for meal prep. And I used to be a personal chef, and I meal prep for clients. So I share all of my tips and tricks for making meal prep actually bearable and enjoyable and not soul-sucking. So if you wanna buy a copy, the link will be down in the description box below. To start the garlic naan, you're gonna take 1 packet of instant yeast and add it to a large bowl, along with 2 tablespoons of sugar. And the sugar is really important because without it, the yeast won't activate. And you're also gonna add in 1 cup of warm water. Make sure it's not too hot, otherwise it will deactivate and kill the yeast. And then you're gonna set a timer for 5 minutes and let the yeast and water and sugar chill for a little bit. Then you're gonna add the rest of your ingredients: garlic powder, salt, 3 tablespoons of almond milk, Whisk that together, and then you can slowly start adding in your flour. So I am using white all-purpose flour here, and in total you're gonna need about 2.5, 3 cups. It just kind of depends. So you're gonna have to feel it out a little bit. So slowly but surely add in about 1/2 cup of flour at a time and stir it together. And once it gets too thick to stir, you can sprinkle on some flour on a clean, flat surface and knead in the rest of the flour with your hands. And I'm adding in a lot of flour here because I've made this so many times that I kind of know what I'm going for. But the first time you're making it, you wanna start slow. As you add all of your flour, the dough should thicken up, and you're gonna knead it for a couple of minutes until it springs back a little bit when you touch it. And you can't really see it from this video, but it was springing back. Then to that same bowl, you're gonna clean it out, add a little bit of oil to the bottom of it, and then place in your kneaded dough. Put a towel on top and let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. The longer it sits, honestly, the better, and it will double in size. And this is the perfect dough. It'll get nice and bubbly and airy. So to roll this out, normally you would use a rolling pin, but I don't have one, so I'm using my apple cider vinegar bottle. And then to roll it out, you can sprinkle on some flour to whatever surface you're gonna be rolling it out on. Take a hunk of the dough and sprinkle on some more flour so that it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. And then you're gonna roll it out, and you want to roll it out once vertically and then horizontally. And as you're rolling it out, each time flip it over so that it just gets evenly spread out, and you're gonna do it pretty thin, and this is the size that you're kind of going for. So you're gonna keep rolling out the dough until all of your dough is gone and ready to go, and then you can go ahead and heat a medium to large saute pan over high heat. You're gonna want your pan pretty hot for this. And then once your pan is hot, you can add in a couple tablespoons of neutral oil. I'm using canola oil here. You can also use avocado oil or vegetable oil. And once the oil in the pan is really, really hot, it should be smoking slightly. Add in your naan one at a time. And you wanna cook it about 2 minutes on each side. And you wanna make sure that it gets golden brown and nice and crispy. And once it's fully cooked, you can remove it from the heat, and I like adding it to a cooling rack, and I season it with salt and a little za'atar spice. And then you can just continue to cook all of the naan that you rolled out. And for this amount of dough, you get about 4 or 5 pieces of naan. It's really hard to only eat one piece of this naan, especially when it's hot and fresh and crispy. Ooh, it is so good. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And if you make either one of these recipes, make sure that you tag me on social media. You can find me at More Salt Please on Instagram. And I love seeing all of your food creations. I just love when you make my recipes. It just sets my heart on fire. And before you go, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below if you are a hummus aficionado like myself. Don't forget to take care of yourself this week, eat good food, and I will see you in the next one. It's so good. It's so good.
Diet Coke ain't good for the soul. Give me that orange soda. Give me a grape like you see in the movies. Bubble to the top like a smoothie, you'll see. I'll do you like a 9 to 5.